The drought in the Horn of Africa is the worst in 40 years. The region is facing a record fifth rainy season without adequate rain. The natural disaster, coupled with the pandemic and the impact of the Russian invasion of Ukraine on food prices, is causing catastrophic famine in Somalia. Ahmed Khalif is Director of Action Against Hunger Somalia and joins us now. Good morning, welcome to the programme.
Good morning.
Can you just...
Thank you.
That's our pleasure. Thank you for joining us. It's good to speak to you. Can you just outline the current situation for us?
So Action Against Hunger is a leader in the global movement to end hunger in our lifetimes. And speaking about the drought situation in Somalia, we have seen increasing levels of need over the last few months. The severe drought has devastated the country, the most impacted in the Horn of Africa region. The number of people affected by the drought have risen to 6.1 million, with more than 771,000 displaced from their homes in search of water, food, and pasture.
In terms of the support that is being provided to those millions of people affected, what does that actually look like? How do you combat such a catastrophic famine?
Well, multiple areas of Somalia faced a high risk of famine amid an exceptionally, severe drought, soaring stable food prices, the heightened conflict, and of course the insecurity that has been there for a while. So what is, I think, breaking the camel back now is the record high global food prices that have also had an outsized impact on the Somalis, which typically imports over half of its national food supply. And so the level of support provided now is not enough. The humanitarian response plan so far is only funded up to 15%, and there isn't enough money, for example, for nutrition programs that we do in Somalia. This has forced most of the humanitarian actors to stop programs and cut back on services for treating moderate acute malnutrition, as an example.
Those record high global food prices, they are at a record high, in part at least because of the war in Ukraine. Have you noticed a dramatic impact in the last couple of months since the war broke out?
The Ukraine crisis has a sharp double-edged sword on the Horn of Africa crisis, and particularly because one, it's competing for the same funding, and so the number of people also, since the outbreak of the war, over 14 million in Ukraine displaced, and so the level of needs are also high there. So competition for resources to treat those additional needs, but also the war in Ukraine has resulted shortages in the global supplies chain. And so in the last 1 month, in most areas where Action Against Hunger operates, stable cereal and cooking oil prices were 25 to 160% higher than normal in Somalia.
Gosh. In terms of how long this could go on, we mentioned the difficulties, a fifth rainy season without adequate rain, plus the impacts on food prices that we're discussing, the millions of people affected. Ahmed, in terms of what you are predicting, how long will this go on? How bad could this get? And what intervention is required to stop it, to prevent it getting that bad?
So the focus of below average rains also further suggests the food security conditions will not improve until mid-2023 at the earliest, and that's on the extreme hopeful side. And so immediate action will be required to scale up assistance. So people need food, they need water, they need access to health and nutrition services that are critical, because we're seeing increasing number of kids who are acutely malnourished admitted in the facilities we support, more than 55% compared to what we had last year. And so to prevent the rising levels of acute food insecurity, mitigate the loss of life, and possibly avert the risk of famine, which we are facing now, then we need to put in resources to do that.
Ahmed, it's really good to speak to you. Thank you for bringing us that information on the programme this morning.